Hi, Georgina.
Hi, Eric.
How's it going today?
I'm really good. How about you?
I'm feeling really good, getting ready for our class today, and we're just going to record this video of you talking a little bit about your yoga journey and how you got into being a yoga teacher and how the whole thing evolved for you personally and stuff like that. So
Cool.
tell me about it.
So yeah, it's been about 10 years that I've first took the first class. I was 19 years old. Actually, my mom told me, tried it, and she came back home and she was like, "Hey, you should try yoga. I have a feeling you will really like it." She was right. Uh, so yeah, like from the first time I took a class, I noticed that yoga was something completely different than any other um, physically, I don't know, practice activity. Uh,
And what made it different?
so I remember myself struggling in a triangle pose. I couldn't reach my toes. I was feeling pain everywhere. I was sweaty. And I remember my teacher said, "And now focus on your breath." And I was like, what is she talking about? I can't really focus on my breath right now. I'm struggling to reach my toes. And
So
so
this was in the first class?
that was in the first class, yeah. Um, but then I started focusing on my breath. And I think it was the first time I was breathing with awareness. And I don't know, something changed. I felt something. Um, so yeah, I went out of the class and I was like, wow, after with the relaxation and the breathing part, I was feeling very calm and full with energy, grounded. I was feeling amazing. So I started practicing yoga regularly. So I was going, I think, 5 times per week.
Okay, so from the first class, you just started immediately to go 5 times a week?
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. I was just like, I loved it. I loved everything about it because I was into sports before that, so I was always very competitive. Uh,
Really? You
yeah.
competitive? Yeah.
So like competitive, like when you see someone doing something, you were pushing yourself. Okay, I have to do the same thing. Uh, so yeah, I was going to gym and running and all this stuff. And with yoga was something completely different because mm, you you shouldn't compare yourself with other people in yoga. So you should compare yourself um, with you.
With you and the journey that you're on and how you're progressing on the
Exactly.
journey.
How you're progressing. And yeah, so I think it's like this is the most important thing. So yeah, I got hooked immediately. I remember I started classes and I went nonstop for 2 years.
Before you thought about becoming a teacher, you were going nonstop for 2 years.
Yes. Then I had like a small break. And then I was on and off for some time. And then like the idea of becoming a yoga teacher uh, came to me because I was feeling so good and I wanted to make other people feel the same way. So
Yeah.
yeah,
And so you were studying nursing before that.
I was studying. Yeah, I was studying nursing. I was like in the last year. I was doing my internship actually at that period, and I decided to have my teacher training.
Yeah.
Uh,
Because you wanted to make a difference in people's lives before they got sick.
yes, yes. Nursing is something really. It's an amazing profession, and it's. I think I find it really hard, but you have to deal with pain. So with yoga, it's you just prevent people's health.
From deteriorating, yeah,
Yeah.
from like prevent people from getting sick. Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's so many different ways. So how did it sort of go with the rest of your life? How did it change the rest of your life when you got into yoga and stuff like that? Did it change the way you think, the way that you eat, the way that you?
I changed my life. I think I don't know. I mean I I loved alcohol. I mean everyone loves alcohol, right?
Not everybody, but yeah, a lot of
But
people, yeah.
most of the people, yeah. Uh, so yeah, I mean like directly I focus on having being more healthy and taking care of my body more. So mm, yeah, it just changed my life completely. I don't know, like I think yoga is a lifestyle. So you don't just leave yoga on your mat. When you leave your mat, you just take it with you while you're driving, and you have to be patient when you're stuck in traffic. Instead of just yelling at other people, you just stay there and be present into the moment, in this moment. Just breathe. I know it sounds weird, but it's real. Or like, I don't know, you're waiting for the metro, walking, uh yeah, just be more aware and be in the present moment. Of course it's difficult and you can't do it all the time, but um I think, yeah, it helps a lot.
And so, how did teacher training go? What's it like to go from a yoga enthusiast, somebody who's done a lot of it, to becoming a teacher? Like suddenly to be on that journey where not only is it going to change your life, but you're going to help have it change other people's lives. So what's it like when you show up? How many hours was the training and all that sort of stuff? Technical deco.
so um so yeah, like from an enthusiastic you start going like into classes, and you start practicing many hours. I mean, like most of the times a yoga class is from an hour, 1.5 hour. So you like basically start practicing 3 4 hours per day. uh, and I was actually spending for 8 months, I was spending, I think, 80% of my time into a yoga studio. You create a family there, like the people that I met in the yoga training changed my life completely, most of them. And it's a really amazing experience. I don't really know how to explain that. um, if you've never been there, everyone's life changed. From like, we were, I think, 20 people. Everyone's life changed completely. They left their jobs, start being more focused on yoga. um, yeah, so you just go deeper. You just go deeper into the yoga journey. You learn about philosophy, and you learn about mentality and aspects that you've never thought about it. So yeah.
Yeah. And did you feel like you were going deeper in your body as well as the teaching stuff, the philosophy, like spending all that time on it? Like, did you hit new levels of that?
Yes, for sure. I mean, I was practicing like 6 hours per day, 5 hours per day. So of course your body start. I became a vegetarian at that point as well. Um, it just happened. It wasn't about because of the yogi mentality. Um, so yeah, I remember like I was taking care of my diet a lot, and I was practicing a lot. I saw my body change, like, yeah, within 6 months. I was flexible. I was, I don't know, I was feeling good.
Yeah.
Uh,
And so, what was your first teaching job?
my first teaching job, I was giving individual classes in the beginning. I was working in associations of in mental institutes. So I could see like people also like mental patients. It will help them a lot, like relax them, make them feel better. So yeah, and then I was working in some studios in Athens. And afterwards I moved to Serbia, so I was trying to find my way there
Okay.
till
And
I till I met Adriana, and I went to her studio.
Yeah. And was that how was that when you started that? Was it something different for you? Was the Wolf Yoga Studio that you taught at in Belgrade where I met you, was that different than all of the previous experiences with yoga and stuff in some way?
Um, no, the only different thing was that it was hot yoga, which I was teaching vinyasa flow. I was teaching hatha and restorative, but the hot part I was never so comfortable with till I tried it, which I loved it in the end. And now I think it's like very hard for me to practice in a room that is not heated,
Yeah.
because it helps so much. You sweat out, you sweat so much, and you become more flexible, and I don't know, you can feel you can feel the benefits even in with hangover yoga, that we used to have. I remember you were sweating out alcohol. uh
Yeah.
so yeah, it was a little bit hard for me in the beginning because of the language, because I was used to teach. I was used to teaching in Greek, and then I had to learn everything from scratch. uh but yeah, I think otherwise it was amazing. I didn't
Yeah.
have any other troubles.
Okay. And so where do you think what would the next level of you being a yoga teacher be, and on your journey of yoga, where do you think you haven't gone that you've heard other people have gone with it, and what would you like to see in the future?
So the thing with me that is that I started with a more, let's say, spiritual way of yoga,
Yeah.
and then there was like a part like of myself that I really liked, but then like most of the people didn't understand that part. So I had to switch my practice in a more physical aspect, let's say.
Yeah.
So I like, my passion is I would like to combine both of them, but the philosophy of yoga is so interesting that I think, yeah, I would like to go a little bit deeper in this part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And would you like to go someplace like India or someplace like that to study yoga?
Yeah. I would love that. I would love that. I think it would take me it would take me in the roots where yoga started. So
Okay.
yeah.
And what would you tell the 19-year-old Georgina right now, 10 years later? What would you tell her about going and to the first yoga class? What words of advice would you give her?
um hmm. Don't be jealous of, like, if you see other people doing those acrobatic things, those like really difficult poses, that you shouldn't feel less. It doesn't matter, if you can go for an inversion or if you can. Like, yoga is yoga. Like, even by sitting on the floor, feeling grounded and breathing, it's yoga. So yeah, I think that the most important thing for advice that I would give to myself is that, yeah, just be patient and work with yourself. Just focus on you.
Right. Okay. Well, thanks a lot for telling the story, and we're looking
Thank you.
forward to seeing how this develops with you teaching and mentoring people online on their journeys, and helping them not just with the physical aspects, but the philosophical aspects as well.
Yeah.
All right, thanks a lot.
Thank you.